du beginnst.
I'm Sabina Hoppe, and I'm born in Amberg in Germany, and I'm now living in the Allgäu in Germany.
And my name is Thomas Rahn. I'm born 1980, very close to Sabina's place. And now we're living together since about 26 years. And last September we started our journey going down the west coast of Africa, and now we came to Nigeria.
Okay, I'm just going to go back a bit. How did you meet? You told me that you met in high school at the age of 17. Could you just tell me about that, please?
Yeah, we went to school together. So since that we know each other since the 8th class, but we became a couple when we were 17, and since then we try to make our life together.
And also we love to travel, like is a passion of both of us. Because we like the place where we stay very much, but also we like to see some other places and learn more about it. That made us start traveling, and we started with some small trips with a backpack around Europe, and then the trips got larger and larger and larger. And in 2015, no,
In 2009.
2009, we set off for a very large trip with our truck. So we left our homes, moved to the truck, and then we lived 6 years in the truck, going around the world once. So we crossed Asia, we crossed North, Central and South America, and drove from South Africa up the East Coast back to Germany. And then we stayed some years at home, and we realized that we have a big interest in seeing, or we are curious about what's about the west coast of Africa. So now we worked, we saved, and we took 2 years now to go down the west coast of Africa.
Thomas, I believe you are an architect. And then Sabina is a teacher, an artist as well. Can you just tell me a little bit more about that?
Maybe it's easier if I start, because it's, yeah. So I studied being a teacher, and after this I studied art in Stuttgart. And while our first 6-year travel, I also did an art project on the way and did my thesis in this. So since then I have the diploma of being a painter. But after the travel I decided to work as a teacher, so I'm really happy with this. Yeah.
And what do you teach?
I'm teaching German language, art, and different art things. Yeah.
So I also spent a lot of time at universities. I studied architecture and also forest management. And after I had the degree in both topics, so we set off for traveling. We came back 6 years later, and then since then I'm doing many things. One of these is that many magazines also have interest in traveling. So now they ask me to take pictures for them. And in the last years I also worked as a forester in the mountain forest. So I'm doing many things now. And we said after working and trying to live on a small budget in Germany, we could save some money, and it's time to set off again.
So who does the cooking?
So we have more or less the rule that who's driving, that one don't have to cook. And so Thomas is driving more often, so I am cooking more often.
And what's your specialty?
Spaghetti. It's easy and fast.
Fast and easy in the car, yeah.
Excellent. Right. can you just tell me, can you take me through this incredible journey from point A to Osogbo here in the southwest of Nigeria?
Sabina, you want to give us a little overview about the...
So we started in September in Germany, and then
September when?
September 2022. And then we drove to Italy and took the ship to Morocco. And from there we went down to Mauritania, into Senegal, Gambia, into Senegal again, then into Guinea-Bissau, Guinea-Conakry, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Ivory Coast, Ghana, Togo, Benin, and finally we are here now in Nigeria.
And can you just tell me more about the journey? How was the journey? In terms of how did you manage? And is there any fatigue? Any experiences on the road? And do you have the opportunity to meet individual people while you are in different countries?
That's many different questions. I'll start with like what we want to learn more about is that we want to get a feeling for what's going on in these parts of the world. It's not like, well, West Africa is not West Africa. So every and each individual state, every place, maybe every corner, every house has his individual story. So we cannot learn about all of this. But as we take a lot of time and we move slowly from one place to another, we take our time to stay there. So we get a little glimpse, some flashlights about like individual stories all along the way. Not always sometimes it's difficult because we just arrive as a stranger and we just walk around. But sometimes we are lucky and meet some people that give us some ideas about what's their life about, what's their challenges, what's their ideas, what's their perspective, what's their wishes, and that gives us an idea about how's life of some individual persons along our way.
So could you tell me more about Nigeria? What do you think? How do you see Nigeria?
For us, it was very difficult first to come to Nigeria because to get a visa, it's very difficult to get it on the road. You can only get it in your home country, and it's quite expensive. So that was one point we were thinking about how to get the visa. And the second thing is that among the travelers, it seems that a lot of people tell us that are crossing Nigeria, that they experience that the people are very friendly, but still everyone is afraid of coming here. So that's the same for us. We are really looking forward to Nigeria. We experience a lot of very positive things, up to now only positive things, but still there's like a little, not fear, but it's a little tension on how it's going on. So I think for most of the travelers coming down the West Coast, Nigeria is the biggest topic to talk about because of the safety issues. And we know a lot of people that just stop in Benin going back to Europe. Others are shipping around. And that's very sad because as far as we can experience Nigeria, it's so beautiful. The people are so friendly and helpful. So it's really a pity that not many people take this chance.
Yeah.
And any personal experience, with for instance, we know we have a security challenge. It's a big problem that we have here in Nigeria at this moment. Kidnapping, banditry, armed robbers, cultists, and all that. I hope you haven't experienced any of that, but could you just tell me, do you worry about that, or do you have any experience of that while you're on your journey to Nigeria?
So we just here now for about 10 days in Nigeria, so it's not a big picture that we get, but we always can only tell what we personally experienced, and we came from from Benin going to Lagos, and up from Lagos we went to Osogbo, and on this route we had no problem. Well, we have some police stops, like in between the border of Benin and Lagos City we had 32 police stops, and that's a lot, but most of them been very friendly, and of course, you know, like some want to see the papers, but most of them welcomed us to Nigeria and said like, welcome to Nigeria. And this is for us is very important, because especially the officials who represent the country to us is mostly the first ones that we encounter, and the first impressions are always the deepest. So because we are empty with our ideas about Nigeria, we hear a lot of stories, then we go there, and the first people that we encounter is like people on the border, is policemen, and so what they do to us is kind of absorbed into a vacuum, because it's the first impressions. And as they've been very friendly to us, and they said like, hey, you are welcome to Nigeria, that means a lot to us. And up to now, that's how it goes. Like we meet people, they say, hey, it's nice that you are here, it's nice that you want to learn about the country, and that means a lot to us, and that is our feeling, and the feeling is what we can tell to other people, that we can reproduce. So I think like we are multiplicators of our experience, because like back home many people will ask us about our personal experience, and they hear about our story and about how we felt in Nigeria, and also as it's our personal story, I think they give us a lot of credibility, so they can mix their own picture, what they hear in the news, what they hear about what's going on. They hear about the problems of the news, but they also have the chance to hear about our personal story, and they will put together their own picture.
And we hope that it will be a good picture in the end.
We still don't know. We still have some time to spend, and we never know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like people say, take care on the road, be careful, look where you're staying. Of course, we try to do this. We try to stay out of problems, but we don't know what's going on in the next weeks. But up to now, we are very happy to be here.
So you arrive in Lagos. What's your impression about Lagos? I was born in Lagos. I grew up in Lagos. And my experience of Lagos, I can say I divide it into two. When I was here and when I went abroad. I spent a lot of my years abroad. But then when I was in Nigeria, mainly in Lagos, it was a beautiful city. That was in the 70s. Everything started going downhill. But it's kind of more cosmopolitan than before. It used to be the capital of Nigeria, but now we have a different capital now. So what's your experience of Lagos? How do you see Lagos? So if that is a proper way to...
For us it was, because Lagos is so big, so huge, I think it was difficult to get an overview of this big city. So we stayed on Victoria Island, and we had the feeling that it felt very good to go around there, and it was very easy to drive, of course, with the taxi around, and there are very nice restaurants, cafes, and galleries. So we visited a lot of galleries because, of course, I'm interested in artists. So that was really nice.
But we also understood that this is only one little piece, one little bite, a very, very exclusive piece of Lagos. So as we wanted to understand more, I said like, I'm going around Victoria Island, but is not the full picture. So I was really struggling to get the full picture. So we took the chance to go
To Makoko.
To get another picture of Lagos, and we went around Makoko, and like the things that's been the same on both places, on Victoria Island and in Mokoko, like, is that people said like, hey, you're welcome here. And so we tried to set together a little picture, but we've only spent 1 month in Lagos. One week, sorry, 1 week. And then we went to Freedom Park, and we met one person there, and I told him that I don't get a clear picture of Lagos. I have no idea what Lagos is. And I think he lived a long time in Lagos, and he told me, if you want to understand Lagos, you have to listen to Fela Kuti. And that's what Lagos is. And I think yeah.
And did you listen to Fela Kuti?
We listened to some of the songs, but he said like, especially one song is that like
I think it's like Lagos, you're never sleeping. Or
Lagos is never sleeping. On Monday you have to get up and
Monday morning in Lagos.
Yeah, yeah.
Ọjọ́ Monday, Èkó ní gbàgbàkúgbà. Is it something like that?
Yeah, that's what he told us.
Yes,
yeah. And he said like, this is the feeling of Lagos. And you know, like I said, my picture sets together with that what I can ask people. Maybe what you can tell me about Lagos. I'm curious about what is the feeling in Lagos, especially because is you know, Lagos is something special all over Africa. Is dynamic, is a hotspot, is a melting pot, is the future, and is the future the past and the present at one time, and that's what we started the travel for, to get an idea. But yeah, is like we get some bites, but not the full picture, of course.
I wouldn't want to go into that, because then I'm going to be distracted from the real reason for that. Yeah, I mean, I remember I told you I'm writing a book, and the book is called Lagos 70, and it's about music in Lagos. So I was able to document from my childhood, moving around Lagos, listening to all this band performing. In the 70s, they used to cordon up a whole road to have a party in Lagos. And then, you know, 70s, then people started to wear kind of a uniform. We call it ashwebi. So if you come into my party, you will buy a certain material. You and Sabina will buy that material, you sew it, and then you wear it to my party. So, and then I will invite a very popular juju band to come and perform for us. And then we all dance, we spray the musician, we spray everybody. So it's all a happy kind of memory. So I was able to document the social life and the musical impact of Lagos. You know, like you said, a lot of people come from the west coast of Africa to come and record music in Lagos at that time. And then even in Nigeria, or even up till now, a lot of people come from the villages or from the towns. All of them come to Lagos every single day to try to find their own, what should I say, find their own luck, to make their own luck and make a better life for themselves, you know. So we are now in Osogbo. So did you see Mama Nike when you met her? So what do you think about Mama Nike? The artist, the gallery.
Yeah, I know. We were very surprised first of the gallery, and actually we didn't know so much about Nike before, so when we saw her, it was like, oh, who's down there? Because we were on the galleries, like, who's this beautiful woman down there? And so we went down and said hello, and she was really welcoming us because we are from Germany, and she had good experience with Germany. But she was very busy because there was a Chinese minister, I think, around. So yeah, but we really enjoyed this very special place. Yeah.
And now you are in a resort here in Osogbo. So what do you think about this place? Okay. Yeah, in Osogbo. What do you think about this? Remember I told you that this building where we, behind, this was actually built by Mama Nike for Yuli Baya and Georgina Byers and Susan Wenger. they live in this place, while Mama Nika lives somewhere in the other side of the building. And then, have you been to the garden? We've been to a garden, which is kind of like a big kind of forest, isn't it? So, what do you think? What's your impression of this place? And Osogbo as well, because Osogbo is very different from Lagos.
I think we could stay here really long because as we came here and everything feels like very full of energy, full of artistic energy. And so as we met you, we are really lucky to meet you, and you showed us also around yesterday for the musicians. And actually that's like a place we were looking for in Lagos, but we couldn't find because we didn't have the contact to people who are into it. So this place, and also your place especially, feels like a very energetic hub where people can meet and bring up new ideas. That's actually what we are a little bit also looking for, to see where the future of Nigeria going to. And yeah, so we could literally stay here very long.
And like usually the art scene is expressing some like recent ideas, some projection on the future, some wishes, some feelings, and so we try to find some ideas what's going on, like expressed in the art scene. And so is the Nikkei gallery. I think like we've seen like 7 or 8 galleries in Lagos, and also here is we can find art everywhere. And like art is all around Nigeria, and yeah, I think is a very interesting part of Nigerian culture, and also I think people should learn more about art in Nigeria.
So what do you think of Ile Agbashaga? You were there yesterday. That's my hub. So what's your impression of Ile Agbashaga?
I think it's a place where like people can come together, express themselves, and live their culture, and like have fun together. Is a place of looks like a place of freedom and expression. Yeah.
So now, what next?
So
When you
our
leave,
travel?
you travel now from.
We are heading to Abuja because there a friend of mine who's also from our area, I know her from child on, she's staying there at the German embassy, so we're really looking forward to meet her and to see how her life is there. It's also another part, how is the life of expats in Nigeria, so we're really looking forward to meet her and to learn about Abuja.
Fantastic. I'm really happy to have met you. I wasn't expecting you. Can you just tell me a little bit about your truck? It's, I call it's a beast.
Beast.
Yeah, it's very. I'll let you tell us what that truck is about.
I'd say like here is a Malue.
Molue.
Molue.
Yes.
Is an old Mercedes truck from the 70s, and like it has like a cabin on the back, which is our house, and it's getting us around, and it's old, loud, and slow, but it's doing its job, and after living so much time in the truck, we have a deep connection. We really like it, and it's taking us around. We have like 11 square meters of living space in the back.
And have you tried any Nigerian food?
Yeah.
What did you try?
Actually, we don't know so much the name of the food, because we just stop at a place and then we look what is in the pot, and then we just say, okay, we take this and that. So yesterday we had rice and beans, but of course we also had like, we don't know the right word for Nigeria here, but it was like fufu.
Fufu, yeah, or pounded yam.
Or different kinds of fufu and sauce. But we experienced that the food in Nigeria is much more spicy than in the other countries.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
And have you tried Nigerian jollof rice?
Yes, of course.
So, because there's been a lot of controversy about this jollof rice thing, the Gambia said they had the best jollof rice, Ghanaian said they had the best jollof rice,
Okay.
and of course, Nigerian, we say we had the best jollof rice. So, have you tried any of jollof rice?
Oh, then I'm very sorry because we only tried jollof rice before, not in Nigeria yet, but we will do it now.
So we were looking for somebody to convince us that the jollof rice in Nigeria is the best.
Excellent. Thank you very, very much.